Welcome back. Welcome to Divaline Football Channel. Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective. We are speaking Nedbank Cup. We are speaking Kaizer Chiefs versus TS Galaxy, a very historical fixture in the Nedbank Cup. If you remember, Kaizer Chiefs versus TS Galaxy, we played the final 2019. Kaizer Chiefs lost to TS Galaxy, and it was a very painful moment to us as Kaizer Chiefs fans. But yeah, TS Galaxy is a very rich history in this cup, and they're one of the teams that has won Nedbank Cup. So they deserve the respect. They deserve the respect. But playing against Kaizer Chiefs is going to be a very tough game. It's going to be a very challenging game. It's going to be a very historical fixture, very important fixture. And yeah, TS Galaxy as a team that is struggling right now in the PSL. They are down in the bottom of the log. One of the teams that are trying to get out of the relegation zone. They got a new coach, Syed Ramovic. I think he's a smart guy. In my opinion, Ramovic is a smart guy, and he's a well-researched guy. If you listen to him when he spoke on the Nedbank preview, when he spoke about Kaizer Chiefs, how Kaizer Chiefs as a team has fed in South African football, in cup competitions, in Nedbank Cup especially, and also when we went into history about TS Galaxy, the owner of TS Galaxy, Tim Suka's, and the guy looks like he's a well-researched guy. He's a guy that loves his job. He's a guy that respects his job, and he's a thorough guy. He's a thorough guy, and also TS is improving, man. I think it's a team that is trying to get out of the relegation zone, but also they are establishing a team that can compete, that will be competent in the PSL. Brought in Viomere, brought in Lefahlongwane from Maritzburg, and I think also it's a mixture of the young guys and the old guys. Viomere, your Lindokuhle Mbata are the experienced guys, but also the young guys are also doing very well, man. Players like Brooks, players like Wade Lakey. They also brought in, if I remember, if I'm not mistaken, they also brought in Shane Roberts from Cape Town City. But players like Munyai, players like Mahlangu are also very good players in that team of TS Galaxy. And I think if coached well, if well managed, it's a team that's gonna get out of the relegation zone. Plus, because it's a team from home in Mpumalanga, so I support it. Is kind of my second team. Teams from Mpumalanga and Eastern Cape, I support them because those are teams from home. Man, I would like. It's always important. It's always refreshing to see local talent. So yeah, but when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs, no ways. Take no prisoners. Kaizer Chiefs is the first team that comes first, and it must win. And it must win. A team that we support. So it's going to be a very tough fixture, like I said. It's going to be a very tough fixture. But everyone in Kaizer Chiefs is back, except Cole Alexander, who is having a long-term injury. But everyone else is back, and I expect a very competitive Kaizer Chiefs. I expect a very well-drilled Kaizer Chiefs, because players have been training together for, I think, 3 weeks, 4 weeks right now. We expect everyone to be ready. And some of the players of Kaizer Chiefs participated in the DSTV Compact Cup. So we expect others to have kind of match fitness, kind of match experience, and a competitive team. Manyama is back, and is good day. He's a creative player, can create goals, he can score goals. And Nurkovic is back, goal scorer of Kaizer Chiefs. If you remember when we were struggling last season, and he came very late last season, we were playing against Amazulu and scored a goal for Kaizer Chiefs against Amazulu. And it's one of the guys that contributed to Kaizer Chiefs making it into the top 8. But after that, he's had injuries, struggled with injuries, but he's one of the top strikers of Kaizer Chiefs, and it is in his time, in his good game, and when he's fit, is a serious asset in Kaizer Chiefs. Dumisani Zuma is back. I had issues in the beginning of the season. I think his case, drink and driving case, was almost had a very huge impact in his career. But the fact that he was brought back, he's seen in the squad, he's in training. It means there's a lot of confidence in him. The coach trusts in him, and as fans of Kaizer Chiefs, we really believe in him. And I think he's one of the creative players, one of the players that can influence the game from the bench. We know him when used as a super sub, is a player that can influence the game from the bench. Leonardo Castro, the assassin from Bogota, is back as well. I think, yeah, it's my favorite player in Kaizer Chiefs. My favorite forward in Kaizer Chiefs. Can hold up play. He's a very big guy. He's competitive on air. He's very strong. He can arrive in the box. He can finish. Plus, he has a history with Dolly and Ngcobo. So he will be an asset in Kaizer Chiefs, and one of the players that are there as well. The usual Bernard Parker, a player that serves the team with all his heart. Player that serves the team with all his heart. Ngcobo as well. The coach said is going to find a way to, a system that suits him, a system that can play towards his strength around him and stuff like that. We're hoping that is a player that can find his form, a player that can be used as regularly, a player that when he's free, when he plays with his heart, when he plays very free, when he has the ball on his feet, he can influence the game. The last two games of Kaizer Chiefs, first half of the season, he was very influential. He's the guy that sort of won us the game. So we want to see him playing. There is no other way to go around it. We want to see him playing. But as far as what do I expect, also not to forget, mentioning Dolly and Billiard, I think those are usual suspects. But what I expect in this game is that I know it's the beginning of the second half of the season. I cannot really predict the lineup, but the coach should set up at least in this way. First, I don't have problems in the goalkeeping department. Either I pay Peterson, Vuma, or Kune. I'm fine with any of the goalkeepers of Kaizer Chiefs. I think all of them, the four of them, are very quality goalkeepers. At the back, I expect Ngcobo to playing at the back. DStv Compact Cup, he showed his quality as a centre back, very competitive on air. 1 versus 1, he wins most of the time. He wins. I think 80-90% of the time he's gonna win 1v1, and also good when you want to start from the back. So we expect Ngcobo to be back in his original position, centre back. Blom, I expect Blom to be playing as a CDM, central defensive midfield. I know a lot of people prefer him as a right back. Is much more effective as a right back, but I think he's maturing as a central defensive midfield, and the fact that we're struggling in that position, we're struggling with the distributor of the ball, with the winner of the ball, with the person who's comfortable in the ball, with the guy that can influence the game. And the past two games when he played, I think under Coach Arthur, when Baxter was injured, had a COVID issue, he influenced the game, created goals, he had assists in his game, and is a guy that combines very well with Ngcobo. So I expect Ngcobo Blom to be trusted with the midfield position. Also, it opens up, a position for Froster to play as a right back. So Froster has to play as a right back. That is his original position. And with Ngcobo Blom as central defensive midfielder, you have a guy who can drop in, who can assist the defense. You have a guy who can spread the passes, the short passes, the long passes, and he can arrive in the box. I think he's a guy for it. And Arthur trusted him. I think the coach should trust him. Also, in the middle of the park, we expect Ngcobo to play as a number 10. That is his original position. That is his position as the position where he's best at. He gives you goals. He gives you passes. He creates goals. He scores goals. That's what we need right now. We don't want the over reliance on Kick and Dolly and Ngcobo. We need a distraction. We need a player that can come in. We need a player that can also provide goals. Up front, we expect Dolly in the front three. We expect Dolly and Ngcobo to play. But I wouldn't mind if we have Parker. I wouldn't mind. I know a lot of people have issues with Parker, but I wouldn't mind having Parker as a striker. I wouldn't mind having Castro as a striker. Got some minutes before the end of the season. I think he's a guy that can play very well with this guy's experience, and he knows them from Mamelodi Sundowns. They used to play, the CBD that used to be very deadly at Mamelodi Sundowns. It's still there. I think Kaizer is still there. I wouldn't be surprised if Nurkovic starts as well. But players like, Dumisani Zuma, Leboha Manyama, Kaukelo Skota, we want to see them coming in, influencing the game. Other than that, all in all, I'm expecting a win from Kaizer Chiefs. I don't think we should undermine TS Galaxy. I think they're struggling relegation, but the battling relegation, but if confident, they can be a very dangerous team. And this new coach, I trust him. I think he's a guy that is destined to to make history in TS Galaxy, to improve the TS Galaxy team as a club and as a squad. But I will expect Kaizer Chiefs to win. Special Mamelodi Sundowns is in, Orlando Pirates is already in, so we cannot afford the embarrassment. So the guys have to really make it. Otherwise, let me hear from you what you think about the game. How do you think the team should approach the game, and whether you think Kaizer Chiefs can win this game or there will be an upset. Debaland Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective. Love and peace.